All right, YouTube, what is going on? I got a video for you today on the Liong Mah Zulu. Um, this is a design that's been a little while. It was sent to me by Lefty EDC, who got it from Chris at Grease Gear, D2M, Kyle at D2M Nice and Gear had it as well. And I think I'm sending it on to someone else after this. So it was actually sent out by Liong Mah to a small group, obviously, for just reviews and evaluation. Again, a model that's been out for a little bit. I had a lot of interest in this model when it first came out. I was kind of into modern traditionals at the time. That's very much the style of this knife. It's a modern traditional. It's based on the Zulu slip joint. It is a flipper titanium frame lock with M390 blade steel. This one has green micarta handles. It was available in carbon fiber inlays as well. Maybe another, yeah, brown, green, and black micarta plus carbon fiber. So 4 different options there. Your stats on this guy, its overall length is 7.5 inches with a blade of 3.25, a thickness of 0.145. Again, M390 steel, comes in around 4 ounces. So it's like in my wheelhouse of knives, right? What I really like. Here's some size comparisons. The ProTech Malibu, very, very similar. How about the Civivi Elementum? Smaller. The Elementum is smaller. The Malibu and the Zulu are about the same size. So people who love the size of the Malibu should really like this knife. Another one I want to get out is my EDC that I've been carrying a lot lately, that I still think is my favorite Liong Mah knife. Actually, I don't think that, I know it is. This is the Field Duty EDC. I did a video on it a little bit ago saying how underrated it was, and I've actually noticed a lot of people starting to pick it up and a lot of people loving it, which I like to see because it is phenomenal design. It is my favorite carry knife, honestly, at least recently. So it's about that same size as the Field Duty EDC. I mean, very, very similar. The biggest difference between these two knives, obviously one's a flipper and one's a thumb hole opener, is the thickness in the handle. Is quite a bit less on the Zulu. It's almost too thin, in my opinion. I think it comes in under a half an inch if I get my specs right. Yeah, 0.469 inches thick. So it's a little thin in the handle, which is okay for its titanium design as a, modern traditional type of knife. But for me, it just always kind of felt like, man, it was like a little too slim in the handle. This knife fills out your hand so good. You just feel it. It's really nice. Fills it up. I just like the feel of the little bit thicker handle. Around a half inch is about good for me. This one is a lot more decorative. Like, it has the shield, or the what does he call this? Is it the shield pivot? I think I'm right on that. There may be a different name for that pivot, but it's got a more fancier pivot. It's got the inlays. You have a similar finger choil. I shouldn't say similar. It does have a finger choil. It's not nearly as good as the EDC because the flipper tab kind of gets in the way and it's kind of small, but it works. You can choke up on the knife. You can get that, the jimping's well done right here, so you can really get some fine work in there. Did come perfectly centered from the factory. Has a reversible pocket clip, so this can go both left or right hand carry. I do love this ceramic ball style pocket clip that Liong uses on a lot of his knives. You see it right here. It works really well. Just functions great. Overall, like, I really wanted to love this knife, but I just, for some reason, I kept trying to middle finger flick it because it has this nail nick. I felt like, man, if that's a fuller, I could get it. And I still, to this day, have no idea how Lefty EDC, so props to you, Kevin, was able to open this knife. I'm putting just pressure on the lock bar because of that, I think. Maybe it's, I don't know, can't do it. And I've just come to the conclusion, I don't love flippers, flipper only knives. When I say that, I mean, like, here's the Malibu, right? Flipper only. Yes, you can actually use the lock mechanism to open it, so that makes it a little better. The Elementum I put out here, flipper only. The Hinder XM18 is my best flipper still, and it does have thumb stud deployment, middle finger flickable, thumb stud flickable, plus the flipper, which I like. So I've come to the conclusion that I just prefer non-flipper knives. I don't know why. I used to, maybe because there's just so many knives out there that are flippers. I don't know. I just prefer the method of the middle finger flick over anything. And if I have an opening hole, I can do that. But I can also use my thumb and I can slow roll it. You know, you've got multiple options still. I don't like the flipper tab. I feel like it hurts the ergonomics of knives. There's just things I don't like about it. Which is why I probably won't have any more flippers. I think the only flipper I'm probably gonna keep anymore is this XM18 just because of its history and how long it's been with me. But honestly, if someone's like, hey, I'll buy that Malibu off you for a good deal, I'd probably sell it just because it's not a knife I ever carry. I know Malibu gets lots of hype. And it's a great flipper and it has the fun fidgeting action, but it just doesn't have that other deployment method. So if it has a flipper and that, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to use this, but I like that it has the option, you know, like the Luff Concepts Avant that I reviewed. That's Jake's knife design. That's not out yet. I did pre-order it. That thing's great because it has the middle finger, it has the opening hole, but it also has the ability to have a flipper. So I just have realized over years and years of doing knife videos, handling hundreds of knives, I just prefer that method. So this to me is a no. I wouldn't buy this myself. Nothing wrong with this design. If you like flippers and modern traditionals, it's beautiful. It's super well executed by Riot, of course, as you'd expect. Great design by Liong. Just not one that I would pick up myself. And I used to like enamor over this knife. I used to love it, but it's just, it's just missing that other deployment method. If it had a fuller that you could flick, you know, through that, I would be all about this knife. And it's not just the opening method. That's, you know, not 100% true. It's a little bit thin in the handle for me. And I think the price point's a bit high for what you get. It's over $400. It's like $405, which you do get M390, you get titanium, you do get Riot quality, you do get micarta inlays. But if you look at like this knife that comes in, you know, around 300, I believe, I would point you that direction. You can get it in carbon fiber or G10. And to me, it's an overall better EDC knife. But LMAX M390, pretty much a wash, guys. M390 is super overhyped. LMAX has been great on this blade. I've really liked it. Have had no issues with it. Sharpens nicely. Takes a keen edge, holds the edge a while. This is probably one of my most used and carried knives I have. And I just find the LMAX performs really well. So I don't need... Sometimes I find M390 performing very much underperforming in some knives. Not saying that's the case with this knife. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I like the Zulu. I like the design. I like the size. It checks a lot of boxes. It's just missing a couple for me to actually put down the money on it. So that's my thoughts on the Liong Mah Zulu, guys. Again, if you like flippers, it's a great design. If you like modern traditionals, if you like slimmer knives in the handle, so it's lightweight, it does check a lot of boxes for me, but just not enough to actually go out and purchase one. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time.